Hey folks, Adam McIntosh here, coming in looking real tired. And I'm coming to you today with another video from my Photo Exposed series. Now this is a series where these aren't necessarily my favorite photos or my best photos, but they are photos with a story. Now these videos aren't as obvious as some of my tutorial videos, but I think that when you really listen to the story, I think there is something there to be learned if you're someone who's looking for that. Otherwise, I just hope the story is a little bit more interesting and you can at least be entertained. It also sort of gives me a chance to dive through my older work and kind of show you guys it's not always about the most interesting photo, because I think a lot of uninteresting photos do have interesting stories behind them, but the viewer never really gets that story unless they get time with the photographer and get to sit down and discuss that. So here's what I'm trying to do in this series. I hope you guys enjoy it, and best I hope you learn something too. So without further ado, let's roll today's photo. Now I shot this photo late 2016 with my dear friend Livia. And aside from being a great friend, Livia is just one of those people who's always been mega helpful to me when I've been wanting to test anything out with photography, because a lot of the time we sort of need a model, but you know, it's not always feasible to go and hire a model, especially if you just want to test out an idea. So it's really good to have friends like this where you can kind of just throw out these stupid ideas that may or may not work, and you know, have someone who's willing to help you out in testing. So thank you, Livia. If I remember right, it was in autumn and it was already getting quite cold. So again, just Livia like totally pulling through. She actually drove us out there, and yeah, we shot this. Not so great weather, definitely cold, probably a bit darker than what I had planned. But this was around the time that I had just brought a camera, maybe less than a year before. So I was still really kind of learning those kind of basic things, essentially, of, you know, just weather and lighting, you know, the most simple things that you have to consider when being outside. The backstory behind these shots is that I actually kind of came across this idea in a dream. I know what all of you are thinking, that you saw this idea on Instagram a million times. I swear to everything, I don't think I saw this on Instagram, at least not consciously. There's always that chance you subconsciously get it, but I really did have this sort of half sleep, half dream moment where I had this idea to put Christmas lights in an umbrella. And you can kind of maybe even see that I didn't necessarily just follow the Instagram trend, because the Instagram trend was the clear umbrella with the clear Christmas lights. And the direction was actually kind of different to what I had originally planned. So the idea that I first had was that I would put these Christmas lights with the black wires inside a black umbrella. And in my original idea, and this kind of comes down to my total inexperience at the time, but the idea was to put that in there and then go and shoot it at night. So what I was going to do is have the umbrella held back a bit further, and then what I was hoping is to kind of create this background of lights where there would be the bokeh of all the lights, and you wouldn't necessarily actually be able to tell that it was an umbrella and Christmas lights. At the time, I think, given my sort of inexperience with my camera and my current equipment, I wasn't even able to shoot at sort of such a low depth of field to even achieve that effect. But I'm really happy with the images that did come out of it after all. And yeah, there's a few things that definitely show my inexperience at the time, but still looking at these images because of, you know, the process that I took to sort of fulfill this idea, and then went out there with a friend and had a fun time shooting. I'm still super stoked with these images, and I think they turned out really nice. So I'm not actually too sure on the trend, because I remember when I put this image up and I had this idea on my head, like I say, I don't feel like I saw it through Instagram. It definitely became a big Instagram trend. And at the time I had an account which I no longer use. It had a few thousand followers on there, and that image kind of blew up as far as my account was concerned. And I do remember saying to multiple people when I was showing them these images from the night, in a few months you're going to see this everywhere on Instagram. And I didn't foresee the clear umbrella with the clear wired Christmas lights, but very similar idea. I don't know, maybe I saw it subconsciously. I'd really like for someone to confirm that for me, so I can stop wondering if I'm the guy who created what became a kind of fun but terrible Instagram cliche. So I think that's just kind of what I want to encourage in today's video, and the kind of what I learned through this process is that, you know, sometimes you can have these ideas that kind of seem a little bit far-fetched. I mean, I know this isn't the most mind-blowing photo shoot you've ever seen, but try to consider at the time, I was only a few months into actually taking photos and kind of knew nothing about setting up a photo shoot or styling and that sort of thing. But what I did was take this idea that I literally had in a dream and then break it down and go, okay, what do I need? How much money do I need? Or what do I need to build so that this can actually happen? And in fact, actually, even the location was specific. You know, that was the place that I saw in my dream, and it's a little bit out of town. Like I say, thanks to Livia, we were able to drive out there on the evening. But, you know, there's the little things that you can skip on. It's sort of like, okay, maybe the location isn't that necessarily, and we'll go somewhere closer to home, or, you know, we can wait for better weather, like later next year or something like that. For those who don't know, I live in Finland, and autumn is heading towards a very, very cold winter. So, you know, could have been very easily put off until next spring or something like that. And that, you know, the idea that we went out and did it and completed it and felt really good about it, it's just so fulfilling. And like I say, even though these are older images now and the quality isn't, you know, what I might be able to shoot today, I'm still very happy with these images, and to be able to hold on to that work, which is a couple of years old, and still be stoked with it is I think it's invaluable. So I think that's about it. Pretty short and sweet today. I just wanted to kind of put out something that was just a little bit like inspirational, in the sense of you following your ideas, and don't always think that they're kind of unachievable. I mean, you can plan something a lot more extravagant than what I did that day. But what you just need to do is just break it down into simple steps. You know, it could be that you want to go to Egypt and photograph portraits at the pyramids. That's far more extreme, especially if you don't live in Egypt. Then you just need to start breaking down that idea and start planning it step by step and say, well, okay, what do I need first? Is it to save some money? After that, then it's to buy some tickets, find out the model for your shoot, if you're going to take a friend with you, and do some travels along the way, and just break it down step by step. I really do think that any idea that you have for photo shoots are achievable. It just takes a matter of planning, and I would encourage you to do that, because I really do think the more effort you put in, you're just going to be happier and happier with the outcome. And I think it's always rewarding. Even if it doesn't work out, you're going to take away an amazing experience from it, and you're going to learn a ton of stuff along the way. All right, so that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this video wasn't all over the place. I actually kind of didn't write anything down, so I just winged it, and I hope it all makes some coherent sense. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything like that, leave them down in the comment box below. My Instagram is also down in the links below if you want to check that out. If you would love to support this video, then I would love for you to do that. Please do leave a like, a subscribe, or a share. It goes a long way to help me out. I want to be making these videos every week from now, continuing to do so, and it would be awesome if I can help more and more people in the process. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you out in some way. And yeah, till next time, happy shooting. Peace.